You're hearing Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Man, it's unbelievable how hard it is to find good information online these days. Now I think I just lost it. Just thought I had it here for a minute. Well, the good information is, from what I can see, is that the jobs numbers were up much higher than they were thought to be. Now, see, I took it from the Wall Street Journal, and now I can't open it up. So, Mike, would you try to find that? The latest jobs numbers, they say they were much higher than expected. That's good news. So, of course, it's buried by the mainstream, lamestream institutional media, sadly. But we'll have it for you with our relentless positive radio.
I found a
Welcome
Paul.
in. Yes, sir.
U.S. payrolls rose by 130,000 in January, more than expected. Unemployment rates at 4.3%.
So that's apparently good news.
Yes, it sounds like good news.
So of course, that's why it's so buried in everything I have. Everywhere I'm looking, everything I have, every printed item that came from Topic Pulse, which is controlled, I think, by CNN, and Five Things is controlled by CNN, not a word. And I just printed some that just came through, and that information about the jobs came an hour or two ago on my phone. I saw it. Should have printed it when I saw it. There's a lesson to be learned. Grab the good news and print it as soon as you can. Otherwise, it disappears.
Right.
But not here. In Focus, middle of the week. It's Wednesday, the 11th of February. It is Valentine's week.
Ooh.
You remembered that. I know you.
I've already got reservations for Saturday.
Very smart, very loving, very nice, Mike Parsons and Chelsea. And Danielle Mason, do you have plans for Valentine's Day?
We haven't talked about it. I have no idea.
Maybe a surprise?
Who knows?
That would be nice.
I did get a surprise yesterday, so.
Oh?
Yeah.
Can you share that with us?
Yes, a brand new air fryer ended up on my front porch, and I looked at the name, and it was from Matei, and I said, "Wow, I didn't even ask for this."
Wow. How long you guys been together?
A year and a half.
They say a year and a half. That's the air fryer anniversary. So.
Is that the air fryer?
Yeah,
Is that it?
That's what my grandpappy Parsons always told me.
Oh, old Grandpappy Parsons. And I always loved Pappy's bourbon, too. So God bless Grandpappy Parsons. And God bless Matei. Am I saying it right?
Yep.
And getting you an air fryer, Danielle. That's very nice. Rich Luzinski's here, too, keeping an eye on our WJR traffic and weather first, and we appreciate that. There are all kinds of ways to follow us now. Of course, 760 on the AM dial, but stream us or come back to us if you can't be here noon to 2 and listen to the show. We really count on that on a podcast, also at WJR.com. And I hope you have the free WJR app. And now, starting this week, you can watch us while you listen to us, not while you're driving, but if you go to our WJR Facebook and YouTube pages, you'll be able to see us. Now, can they see Kevin on All Talk? And I know they can see Ryan. I think that was set up earlier.
I think what Danielle does is she just flips her camera around. So Danielle is not only queen of the switches, but she's also our camera person.
Oh, so that studio is how that goes in there like that. I see. That's interesting. Okay. We'll put it back on you, Danielle. This is your time. We want to be able to see you. We have that good news about jobs and unemployment, and then we've got other news that's not always so good. But we are always working hard to bring you relentless positive radio. Now, you just heard Kevin talking about another government shutdown. And obviously, that's not good news. In fact, it is horrific news. And watching some of these public servants, people in Washington, and spending the time they're spending the time on right now in hearings and foolishness and asking people if they're going to hell and other wasted time by people who shouldn't even be in office because they don't have a brain. Maybe they should spend time on the most basic job they have, and that is keeping the government functioning for the betterment of America and its people.
Yeah, that sounds like it should be job one. I haven't heard the going to hell story, though.
It was some belligerent, stupid woman. I know I use the word stupid too often. Kim tells me that. So I'll say ignorant woman. That's a nicer way of saying somebody's stupid. Asking the director of ICE if he was going to hell. Come on, folks. Give me a break, please. And she's like under 3 indictments for something getting in the way of ICE or doing something else. It's not even worth talking about, but it's what we see on the news as they shovel out the dribble that's out there.
Right.
Constantly. Anyway, all right. It's going to be a nice day. It's a great day for you. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. You celebrate it with Tim Manganello. You celebrate it with Pamela Ahey Thomas from the famous Ahey Jewelers. And a happy birthday to Ms. Juliana Gleason, a young Italian woman who married an Irishman, and 4 kids later, one of those kids being our friend Charles Gleason II. The name sounds familiar. That's because Charles is the patriarch of C.E. Gleason Constructors, and he told me it's his mom's birthday today. So happy birthday, Juliana Gleason. God bless you for your son and for your whole family. A couple of quick things here, and we are not going to spend the entire show on this. We've done plenty, and we'll continue to cover it. But the latest bit of news coming out is TMZ founder Harvey Levin joined America's Newsroom on Fox. They received another letter demanding cryptocurrency to ensure the safety of Nancy Guthrie. Levin says the note has been handed over to the FBI. Some FBI people saying that, these are sickly. And sadly, these are people jumping on the, I think I'm going to make some money off this bandwagon. Because this person was asking for a Bitcoin, which is down, but now about $57,000. And we have all now seen repeatedly the video images they were finally able to get from the Google Nest camera. It's an amazing story, folks, because the camera was missing, yet they're still able to download from hardware, the cloud, from somewhere, actual footage that, frankly, if they could have gotten quicker, if the family had had a subscription, they could have gotten it immediately. And sadly, it's been the best and only clue. And God knows that if that clue were available 9 days ago, we might be in a different situation. Do you agree with that, Mike?
Yeah, that was my first thought. My first thought is, why did this video take so long to come out? And it's pretty good video. I mean, it's at night. He's masked, but there's so many things.
Very clear.
Yeah. There's so many things to identify somebody with. And if this would have happened a week ago, we might know where Nancy Guthrie is, and maybe she'd be home safe by now. I don't know.
I agree. You never know. You never know. And that plays into this day. It's Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk Day. So we're crying over spilled milk. But you shouldn't do that. It zaps your energy. It compromises your body's immune system. It exacerbates fear. It sends out bad karma. And it steals the joy meant for today. Well, that'll teach us for even looking back and wondering woulda, coulda, shoulda, would have happened if that film were available earlier. It is National Latte Day. Do you like lattes?
I like a latte every now and then.
It's not something I have on even a monthly basis, but it seems to me that when I've had one, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The milk and espresso, I don't know what the steamed milk, I guess.
Yeah. I only have it if my wife wants Starbucks and she says, I'm going to Starbucks. Would you like something? But for the most part.
Spender.
Yeah.
Big spender.
Well, it is Valentine's week, Paul. So.
Well, that's true. That's true. Latte in some parts of Europe, lattes are served in bowls. And they're called cafe au lait.
Like a soup almost.
Yeah. Calling people latte drinkers can be insulting. A popular political insult is to refer to people as latte drinkers to imply that the people who drink lattes are elitists. Oh. Really? You latte drinker?
These dang latte drinkers never worked a day in their life.
And then there are tea lattes as well in South Asia, East Asia, North America, the lattes have been reinvented. The coffee base is replaced with tea to make tea lattes. I think that's all we need to know about latte, and they've had their day, and now we'll move on.
I learned a latte.
That was a good one. My gosh, you brought back the drummer again. This is great.
It's only if I understand the joke will it come out. Sometimes I don't know their jokes.
Well, that's good to know, Danielle. Thank you for that heads up. I'll bear that in mind. And from now on, when I tell a joke, maybe I'll explain it.
Yeah, then I'll get it. Brian has tried to tell me so many dad jokes, and they just go right over
your head.
I don't know.
And
Okay.
Nothing makes a joke funnier than having to explain it, too.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, we're underway. We ran out of music, so I know that we're done with this segment. We continue in Focus on WJR.
You will be facing major retirement decisions soon, and the math should drive every decision. And most people and professionals are using the wrong math. This explains why some families can safely withdraw 7 to 8% annually, while others struggle to spend 4%. Without understanding the math and the proper risk mitigation strategies, fear takes over, leading to undersaving, delayed retirement, spending far less than you could, and paying much more in taxes. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturdays 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. To understand the correct math that should drive decisions around Social Security, lump sum versus pensions, RMDs, Roth conversions, and when you can retire plus more, attend our 8-hour, almost master's level retirement education course. We teach at major universities both in Michigan and Missouri. $29 tuition goes to charity. Go to refedu.org. That's refedu.org. Sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like roadside assistance.
Oh, yeah, Progressive offers that.
Great. Do you have plans Saturday? My cousin canceled and I'd love to have someone to ride with.
Actually, we just do insurance, not riding buddies.
Cool, let's meet at noon. Actually, scratch that. 10 a.m., you and me, breakfast at a diner.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
Okay, so if you beat me there, get me the Lumberjack Special. We can share.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roadside assistance may require comprehensive coverage.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus free premium delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215215. That's HIM to 215215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by NECA, IBEW Local 58, Count on the Powering Michigan team of IBEW 58 skilled electricians and NECA signatory contractors for your next commercial, industrial, public, or residential construction project. The best electricians, the best electrical contractors, period. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. We have an accident on Telegraph Road southbound at I-94. Midday roadwork closes your right lane on I-94 westbound at Connor Street, and your roadway is reduced to 3 lanes on I-696 westbound between I-75 and Losser. That's causing slow traffic from DeQuinder. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
The Arctic air bottled up in Canada for now. 30, partly sunny this afternoon, still below normal, but not terrible. Tonight, mainly cloudy and should settle down to about 20 degrees. Teens out in the suburbs. Thursday, partial sun, 30. Friday, mostly sunny, 35. Saturday, dry and sunny, 35. Maybe some rain, snow Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Paul W. Smith delivers powerhouse interviews, real-time insight, and the sharp commentary listeners count on. Paul is smart, fast, and always ahead of the curve. Focus, noon till 2 on 760 WJR.
Love hearing a promo for our show during our show. I love the fact that you're here and that they're running those promos. I see it again. Even CNN had to say it. Can you imagine how painful this was? Do we put it up? No, I'm not putting that up. No, we should put it up. It's news. I'm not putting that up. There it is on CNN. The U.S. economy added a stronger than expected 130,000 jobs last month. You won't hear about it again because it's positive news about this president. And unfortunately, and he has worked himself into this position, it's more fun to talk about negative things now about this president and in many ways about our country, very unfortunately. We have got to get our acts together. I believe we will, because this country is stronger than any group, organization, or individual. We just have to remind ourselves of that. Jason Rowe is here. He's a principal of Rowe Strategic. The Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick testified about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, which I am pretty much getting sick and tired of, because that's the excuse of going to work in Washington these days. And that's all they're doing. They're not even working to keep the government open. Maybe we need to relook at our government and put them all part-timers and move on with it, because they clearly don't have to do much work to keep their jobs going. The primary job of the government is to have the government, one would think, and then do all the work they should do for the United States and for us, we the people who employ them. Be that as it may. So here you have the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, talking about having lunch on what's his name's island. And he, quote, "My wife was with me, as were my 4 children." I don't think he was there having an illicit party. But Jason Rowe, your thoughts on this?
Hey, Paul W. I agree. I mean, there's a lot of names in there, and just because your name, and given the circles that Epstein traveled in, I mean, globally, amongst the jet set, and you see a lot of the people implicated are, people in that New York, Palm Beach jet set billionaire crowd. Lutnick was a neighbor of his, so, he couldn't avoid having some form of a relationship, I think, in that dynamic. So certainly he interacted. He probably did play down the extent of that, given what we know about Epstein and all of his activities. But that's where we are. It's guilt by association. I'm not saying that Lutnick isn't guilty of something, but nor have we seen any indication that, other than socializing with him, that he was aware of what was going on or that he was involved in it.
It occurs to me that in my lifetime, in 60 years of doing what I do, more than that maybe now, I've had my picture taken with people that I had no idea who they were. Lots of them. I mean, not a few, thousands of pictures where people say, "Can we get a picture? Will you get a picture?" And, you put your arm around them. They put their arm around you. They take a picture and they're gone. You never saw them before. You'll never see them again. And then a story could come out that they were a murderer or something. And so, what were you doing with that murderer? Oh, wow. I had no idea. I can tell you one story very quickly, Jason. I was at a fundraiser. I was emceeing the fundraiser, and a newspaper photographer said, "Can we take your picture with so-and-so?" And I don't know if that was a sponsor of the event or whatever. It's not the person who asked me to donate my time to do this thing, but I went, and they had to walk me all the way across a room and up some stairs, and they had me standing there taking a picture with this guy that I did not know. Do you know that the next week, Jason,
go ahead.
The next week, there I am on the front page of the newspaper with this guy who just got arrested, and it said he hung around with celebrities like Paul W. Smith.
Well, believe me, as a political consultant, I'm not innocent of finding these kinds of photos involving candidates I'm running campaigns against and reproducing them on their behalf. So it happens frequently, and I think, in some cases, these could be very innocent interactions that they might not even know Epstein, but their names could be revealed. And the way the internet works right now, if somebody's got something to grind with you, they'll put it out there on your behalf.
And on the next story that we've asked you about, Jason Rowe, principal of Rowe Strategic, is when the president has something that upsets him and he tries to take action, it doesn't always work. Federal prosecutors in Washington sought and failed yesterday to secure an indictment against those 6 Democrat lawmakers who posted a ne'er-do-well video this fall that we know enraged President Trump, but it enraged a lot of us because they implied that active duty members of the military were being asked to do illegal things, which they were not, and they already know that they aren't honor-bound to do illegal things. That's all a part of their training. But the president wanted to come down hard on those Democrats, and the people that were hired to look into it, normal people, I guess, said, no, we're not going to press charges. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, I think everyone involved is involved in political theater on both sides of this. When Alyssa Slotkin and the other Democratic senators and House members recorded this video, they knew what they were doing. They knew they were being provocative. They shouldn't have feigned surprise that they got a provocative reaction to it. And I think they also expected that Trump would overreact. I don't think that Pirro, in trying to indict, thought as a prosecutor that there was a case there, but I think it was more, a visible reaction from Trump, but also to send a message to other people. Even if you're innocent, even if you can raise money from donors to pay for the attorneys and it doesn't cost you anything, no one wants to go through a federal investigation. It's just not pleasant. But I think this was in part to send a signal. I think it shows our system works. The grand jury did not bring an indictment, and this thing will, probably go away. But it does send a signal to Trump's critics that he will use the Department of Justice to his ends if he chooses to.
Well, as many of us screamed at our television sets at the time, don't take the bait, Mr. President. They're obviously doing this to get an overreaction from you. Don't take the bait. Take the high road. Make them look bad by taking the high road. He couldn't help himself. He took the bait, and they used it, and they laughed all the way through all of this coverage that they have gotten that they never really even deserved because they don't do their job as it is. Very sad.
Turned Mark Kelly into a serious presidential candidate.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Imagine the ramifications of that. Yikes. All right. Always a pleasure. Jason Rowe, principal of Rowe Strategic. We thank you, sir, very much for your help.
Paul W.
Thank you. Glenn Stevens is coming up. The whole rigmarole of blocking the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge. I think we've avoided that, haven't we? That's what I was getting yesterday from the Prime Minister of Canada, I think, unless it's all a bad dream. And all of this might in fact be just a bad dream. I should be so lucky. We continue in Focus on WJR. Well, it's Valentine's month, and if you want to love your life again and wake up pain-free, trust me, you should call Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Ask about his non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc neutrosis treatment for severe and chronic back pain and neck pain. You could join his thousands of patients like me, like Kim, and like Rick, who couldn't walk, was scared to death of surgery, and now says it, quote, feels like a miracle to be pain-free. Take Christina. Christina could barely move, taking narcotics. Now totally pain-free in 2 months. Intradisc neutrosis helps people with sciatica, spinal stenosis, bulging and herniated discs, and degenerative disc disease. Avoid spine surgery. And Dr. Kogan's Knee Restore RX treatment helps people with osteoporosis, meniscus tears, and muscle strains. Avoid knee replacement without shots, pills, or downtime. And listen to this. The first 50 callers mentioning WJR in February will get 50% off their treatment plan. 50% off just by mentioning WJR when you call. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and now Bad Axe. Call them at 586-416-DISC, 586-416-DISC, or 586-416-3472, 586-416-3472. The Nerve and Disc Institute, Dr. Saul Kogan, and his incredible team. You will be so glad you made this move. 1231 at 760 WJR.
The Progressive Detroit Boat Show drops anchor at a new location.
The best deals of the year.
Boating accessories, the latest electronics, and gear for every adventure.
Thursday through Sunday, Suburban Collection Showplace, Novi.
DetroitBoatShow.net.
In business, we know the best ROI comes from investing in proven talent. For 25 years, the College, Career, and Beyond, a midnight golf program, has been Detroit's premier pipeline for leadership, discipline, and success, boasting a 98% college acceptance rate for more than 3,000 Detroit high school seniors. On April 30th, we celebrate this milestone at the city's newest landmark, Hudson's Detroit. This isn't just a gala. It's a high-level networking summit featuring 450 of Detroit's most influential donors and business leaders, with an appearance by Golf Channel's Rich Lerner. This is a unique opportunity to put your brand in front of a high-net-worth audience of golfers and professionals with innovative tax-deductible advertising opportunities, including naming rights to our new state-of-the-art golf lounge. Whatever your business, auto, finance, real estate, put yourself at the intersection of Detroit's business future and community impact. Visit collegecareerbeyond.org and click sponsorship for details. Secure your legacy today.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You're hearing Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
This stuff is sometimes unbearable now. We heard the president threatening to not let the Gordie Howe Bridge open. It's been delayed. It should have been left to the Maroons. I said this from before the beginning. They knew how to build a bridge, how to run a bridge, how to keep a bridge rolling. The people involved here obviously did not. It was at least a year old and over budget and past its deadline, whatever. So, but now they have to come up with this. that somebody are saying that that Matty Maroon, the son, who's running the company, Matthew Maroon, doing a fabulous job of running the family business and the ownership of the Ambassador Bridge, somehow met with either Lutnick or the president or somebody, and then all of a sudden the president decided to hold up on the Gordie Howe Bridge from opening. You really think the president needed anybody to tell him that's what he would do if Canada didn't straighten up? This is the president. It would have done this anyway. I'm embarrassed for the reporting on that they think that Matthew Maroon would go to the White House and say, "Oh, for God's sakes, don't let him open the bridge." I know the guy. I don't see him doing this. I certainly saw him and imagined that they would have fought it in the beginning, but not at this point. It's built. Let's check in with Glenn Stevens. Maybe he has some of the latest. I thought yesterday we were told that Canada and the United States was working this out and that the bridge would open as scheduled, whenever that is. Glenn Stevens, Vice President of the Detroit Regional Chamber, Mish Auto Executive Director, and I'm sure you have concern, Glenn, because if that bridge isn't open, that's costly to the United States.
Hi, Paul. How are you? Good to talk to you.
I'm good. It's good to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Remember the days when we didn't have to refresh our social media feed to find out what the latest news was, when we could wait for the paper the next morning or listen to the radio or the nightly report? Because I'll tell you, it changes every second, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's very bothersome, to tell you the truth. You know, some people would say some people would say this is a great time for talk radio. I wish it weren't so great. Because I want our country to thrive the way it is and should be, and that no one will allow it to be. And that goes whether it's a Democrat in the White House or a Republican in the White House. You would think that nothing good is ever happening.
Well, I'm certainly with you on those sentiments. But yeah, it was an interesting day yesterday, and it's kind of continued into today because this is a different administration. These are different times. And what I've said several times in the last 24 hours is, don't overreact to things. There's a lot playing out both on the Canadian side and the American side with regards to negotiations on trade agreements, particularly USMCA. This did pop up. It'd be speculation to say what caused it. But to your question, yeah, there's always cause for concern if we're not going to open up probably the most important infrastructure project we've seen in our region in a long, long time. And it's needed, Paul. The Ambassador Bridge serves us well. It will continue to serve us well, but it's 96 years old. The rail tunnel is 115 years old. And so this is an improvement to the logistics and the commerce and the safety and security of the region. So I'm sure they'll get it worked out to get it open.
I had this yesterday. I'm looking at it, and I saw you gave a good interview to Glenn Stevens, to Cranes. But Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said yesterday he had a very good, positive conversation with President Trump, and that he felt that they were going to avoid any problems. Was he not correct? Have we still got this hanging over our head? I don't know.
No, I take him at his word, and I do believe that they will do that. At the same time, I think we can understand and empathize with some of the Canadian reaction because it has been a bit tenuous for them for some time. And they are our friends and neighbors, and you know that. We do a lot of business with them. We work with them. We have thousands of healthcare workers that literally come across from Windsor to work in our hospitals, and they're just friends and neighbors as much as they are anything else. So I know that we'll get this worked out, and we still need to get USMCA on track and improved because we are stronger together with Canada and do not need to be separated from them in any way or form.
We don't want to be separated from them. If there are trade things that need to be tweaked and fixed, good. Let's do that, Mr. President. You can do that without bringing a sledgehammer to the meeting. And he may not feel that way because these other countries have been taking advantage of us forever. But they were doing what they were allowed to do. Nobody stepped in and said, like the president is, wait a second, guys, let's get fair about all of this trade. And I think that's the better way to go about it, initially at least, before you bring out a sledgehammer.
Yes, and I think that those things are happening. We've met with the trade people on both sides that are doing the negotiations, and there are some sticking points. I mean, Governor Snyder did a little bit of an op-ed yesterday, and he pointed that out too. He said there are things that need to be taken care of from the Canadian side as well as our side, and that's what we need to do. But, I don't think anybody would argue or should argue, if you go back to January 20th of last year when the America First Trade Policy Act was issued, that we need better border security, we need freer and fairer trade, and we need to look out for the interests of people. And if, by the way, we can bring some manufacturing back along the way, there's nothing wrong with any of those things. The problem and the issue, particularly for the auto industry, is the amount of uncertainty that gets caused by the way we're doing things. And frankly, this Truth Social post the other night just added another little dose of uncertainty. But I do think things are calming down. I can sense that today.
Difficult question, but do you sense, Glenn Stevens, and you're in the heart of this, and you talk to the automotive folks all the time. You're one of their bright, shining stars as the Mish Auto Executive Director. Do you sense the very obvious hesitation for anyone in the auto industry to speak out if they have a different view because of the fear that this president will react negatively to their different view?
So, yes, it is my job every day to get up and work on behalf of Michigan's auto industry, and that's what our team does. That's been the mission of what we do every day. That's why I get up in the morning. Tell my kids that sometimes when they're like, now, what do you do? I said, that my job is Michigan's economic future in the auto industry. So that question is very pertinent. I don't think it's so much that they don't want to speak out. I think this is a resilient industry that is extremely complex, and they want to just keep their heads down and execute. And I really think that's why they're not in the media as much as anything. But yeah, what good does it do to come out and have a pointer or a counterpoint to anything when your job is to employ people, make parts, and make vehicles and get them to the showroom? And that's really what I think they're focused on.
Well put, and it's why you are so good at what you do and why you're in your position as Vice President of the Detroit Regional Chamber with Sandy Barua and Mish Auto Executive Director, doing a great job for as long as I can remember. Glenn Stevens, thanks so much. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Paul. Good to talk to you. See you soon. I look forward to that, Glenn. That is for sure. He has been doing that job for a while. We haven't talked in a while. We'll have to get him on from time to time. Because, things are really happening in the auto industry, and in a good, positive way. We've had our times, we've had our ups, we've had our downs, but we're on a growth spurt now. And I do believe it's because this administration is allowing auto companies to be auto companies and to listen to their customers. The first customer, the dealer. And the dealers are listening to the people who come in and kick tires. And that's the way it works best, not with the government saying, you need to do this and you better do that. That didn't work, but it cost us billions of dollars in the industry, so I understand. When it comes to healthcare costs, we often focus on one thing, our insurance premiums. But what if we're only seeing part of the picture? Indeed, we're only seeing part of the picture. The truth is our health insurance costs reside downstream at the end of the cost equation. But to really understand what's driving up costs, we need to look upstream to the healthcare system itself. Upstream, there are costs like the prices charged by hospitals and doctors, the costs of prescription drugs, healthcare administration, technology. These costs flow downstream directly into our health insurance premiums. Tricia Keith, President and CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, knows this all too well. And that's why Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan is advocating for system-wide solutions to address the rising cost of healthcare, because Blue Cross knows that healthcare is personal, that healthcare needs to work for everyone. And affordability matters, especially in healthcare. And that starts with shedding light on the entire cost equation, from upstream costs to downstream premiums. If you want to learn more, and I hope you will, please do what I did. Go to mibluedaily.com/affordability. MI as in Michigan, mibluedaily.com/affordability. And remember too, healthcare is personal, not political. We continue in Focus with Paul W. Smith on WJR.
Finding excuses to not do your taxes? Well, you can start today and file for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. Just file on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th and you'll pay $0. Start filing for free today. Offer only for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year.
At Average House Furniture Warehouse, our sofas have cushions, our tables have 4 legs, our recliners recline. So come on by for a perfectly average experience.
Cumulus Digital doesn't stop at average. We work with more than 4,000 local businesses every month, delivering campaigns that beat industry averages by over 25%, driving real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
You know, I was doing a podcast with Chris Alberta from Principium talking about planning for retirement. And boy, did he bring home a great point. You have beaten into me, and thank you for that the trip down the mountain is more important in terms of a planning strategy. Tell me why.
Because decumulation of wealth is a much different science than accumulation. The growth of wealth over time, especially when you're getting paid every 2 weeks or every month, putting new money into a stock market that is constantly moving up and down, it compounds that money just by default. As soon as you start withdrawing, Guy, and you're taking on a systematic basis big chunks of money out, every loss period is exacerbated. Every growth period is mitigated. You're not going to grow as much and you're going to lose more when you're in a withdrawal period. So decumulation is the opposite of accumulation. It's a very specific science, and the rules around your life have to be tighter when it comes to management.
Call Chris Alberta today, 888-800-8949. That's 888-800-8949.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by PM Technologies. Is your generator ready for winter? Cold weather kills batteries fast. Your home standby generator needs maintenance once a year to stay reliable. Let PM Technologies handle your routine service and emergency repairs. Visit pmtech.org. That's pmtech.org to schedule your generator service today. Midday roadwork closes your right lane on I-94 westbound at Connors Street and I-94 eastbound. We have an accident on your off-ramp to I-75 that's blocking your 2 right lanes. You can still get through. You just have to go a little slower. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
In good shape next couple of days. We've taken temperatures down from yesterday when we were closer to 40. Today, we're about closer to 30. Now, sun will mix with clouds, but I think clouds will win the sky battle. A little bit of a breeze out there. Tonight, 20, mainly cloudy. Suburbs, teens. Tomorrow, partial sun, 30. And we'll wrap up the week Friday, milder with sunshine, 35. Don't see any big changes for the start of the weekend. Maybe a little preset by Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, you know, our goal here is Relentless Positive Radio. Now you can watch us if you're at home or at the office on our WJR Facebook and YouTube pages. We're streaming the video live as well as the audio, so you can stream us from anywhere in the country or in the world. You can come back to the podcast. I hope you will at WJR.com, and I hope you have the free WJR app on your phone. But now look for us on the WJR Facebook and YouTube pages. Our mantra is Relentless Positive Radio, the team, the team, the team. That's what we believe in. And I've also said these days it's not always possible to do Relentless Positive Radio, and this is one of those stories that we must do. 10 people, including the suspected shooter, are dead after a horrific mass shooting at a high school in Western Canada. WJR's Marie Osborne has more details for us. And Marie, I got to tell you, this is not the sort of thing that you hear about happening in Canada very often.
No, not at all. And the whole country is in absolute shock over this crime. Police say the shooter opened fire Tuesday at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. That's a small community in northern British Columbia. 6 victims were found dead inside the school. 2 others were discovered at a nearby residence that was believed to be connected to the attack. Another person died on the way to the hospital. At least 2 more victims are in serious or life-threatening condition. As many as 25 people are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries in connection to this. The suspected shooter is described by police as a female, something extremely rare in North American mass shootings. That person was found dead inside the school from what appeared to be a self-inflicted injury. Authorities say there is no ongoing threat to the public. This is one of Canada's deadliest mass casualty events in recent years. The Prime Minister, Mark Carney, postponed a planned announcement and an international trip. He's offering condolences and saying that he, along with the rest of the country, is absolutely devastated by this violence. And one last thing, Paul, officials say that the Mounties, the Canadian Mounties, arrived within 2 minutes of the first call, and they think that that really saved lives. This is a very tight community, very small community. Tumbler Ridge has just about 2,400 people in it. So this is a very, very small community.
Oh, wow. That is a small community. That means there's a very good chance everybody knows everybody. And that makes it even tougher. And yet another story that causes all of us to hug our kids a little bit tighter and worry. There's no other way to put it. When we send them off to school, which used to be, when you and I went to school, I know our parents never for a second worried about us coming back. They might have worried about us coming back with bad grades or a detention from causing trouble in the classroom. I'm speaking for me, not you, not for you. Or yes, I know you were an angel. I understand that. But it's so different today. And here we are in a place that they don't have shootings. School shootings are very rare in Canada. They also have, by the way, some of the most strict gun laws in the world. And it proves again, it isn't the gun, it's the person with the gun. In this case, most unusually, you say, a female.
That's right. We don't have.
I bet there's not another one on the list there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is. I'm sure we could probably, if I did some research, I might be able to find another one. But this is so rare, so very rare.
Well, obviously, we don't have any details yet, other than the fact that the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, as you have already pointed out, Marie Osborne, 25 people were wounded, 2 airlifted to a hospital with life-threatening injuries. It was Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. The town of Tumbler Ridge in the Canadian Rockies is about 600 miles northeast of Vancouver, near the provincial border with Alberta. The secondary school in Tumbler Ridge has just 175 students from grades 7 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a very personal tragedy. Very personal.
It does indeed when you realize how small this is. If, it says that 25 people are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries, along with the death toll and the other victims who have life-threatening injuries. This is a big portion of that school population.
Well, all right. Do you have anything else on this, or can I ask you another question?
No, that's it. So we're waiting for more info on, what the motive may have been here or what police find out. But right now they're keeping it pretty quiet.
Just a sad, sad situation. Incredibly sad, with 10 people at last count dead, including the shooter, they think self-inflicted, and a female shooter at this point. Pretty stunning doorbell footage of Nancy Guthrie's assumed kidnapper, wouldn't you say?
Boy, that's for sure. I mean, and there are so many, again, we're all amateurs. What do we know, right? But that has to give police so much information in terms of the type of clothing this person had, the build of the person. You could even see the person walk. In fact, I'm watching a video right now where he's walking away.
Got a funny gait.
You get an idea of how they move, the build, how the person's width. So they have to, have, they've got a lot to go on. They're just hoping that maybe somebody in the community will pop forward with something on this. And I don't know if you heard this in the very latest, that about an hour and a half ago, TMZ on Fox News disclosed that they got a letter from via email from somebody who said they know who the kidnapper is and that they tried reaching out to the family, but they weren't able to reach anybody. And they say they want 1 Bitcoin for the information that they have, that they know who the kidnapper is.
We did talk about this at the very beginning of the show, and TMZ's host Harvey Levin was on Fox talking about this. And the Bitcoin, I think it's 55, 57. I don't know what it is at this moment. It fluctuates, but it's in the area of what the reward was for information leading to whatever. And according to, if I misunderstood him, I apologize, but I swear Harvey Levin from TMZ said that the letter, the request for the money, had a name attached to it.
Yes, an email address, and did include a name and an email address to send the Bitcoin to.
Crazy.
So
this is just a horrific, ongoing, far too long story. That's all I can say. I don't know what else to say about it.
Completely agree.
Every day. All right, Marie, thank you much, Lee.
Thank you.
Marie Osborne, the fine WJR Director of Community Affairs and News. We have another hour with the team. You can watch us on WJR's Facebook and YouTube pages. You can now see the show as well as hear it. You can stream us. You can podcast us, WJR.com. And I sure hope you've got the free WJR app as we work as hard as we can with relentless positive radio. Stay with us.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide.
based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Well, it's wintertime out there, and this is the time of year we get some very specific emails at theinsideoutsideguys.com. Like, why can't I keep my home warm?
Or why are my windows full of condensation? Ken and I have answers to all of those things, and most of them are found in the experts that we refer to people.
We'll give you advice, but if the advice doesn't help, we have great professionals at the Inside Outside Guys, no matter what time of year it is. For housing information you can trust, go to theinsideoutsideguys.com.
Sponsored by Metro Electric.
When it comes to your home's power, trust the team that's professional, licensed, and always there when you need them. Metro Electric. From panel upgrades to ceiling fan installation, EV chargers to whole home generators, Metro Electric handles all your electrical needs. Sign up now to get a new Generac home generator with a free 10-year warranty and $1,000 off. Metro Electric, Michigan's trusted source for safe and reliable service.
MetroElectricMichigan.com. This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
A key meeting underway at the White House. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump hosting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu days after talks between the U.S. and Iran mediated by Oman.
According to Axios, President Trump is considering sending a second carrier strike group to the Middle East, but the goal is just to pressure the regime into a nuclear deal, not to pressure the Ayatollah to step down.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. President Trump has said he thinks the Iranians want to make a nuclear deal. Netanyahu says he'll present principles Israel hopes would be included in the talks, pressing for Iran's ballistic missile program and support of terrorist proxy groups to be addressed. A contentious House hearing for the U.S. Attorney General, with Democrats focusing on the Epstein files.
Democrats accused Attorney General Pam Bondi of failing to release all Epstein-related documents as ordered by the Epstein Transparency Act. California Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren said if no one's being additionally prosecuted, then there's no reason for the many redactions other than those of victims' names.
The credibility of the department in terms of complying with the act has been damaged.
Attorney General Bondi reminded Democrats it was President Trump who signed that Transparency Act on Epstein.
None of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein.
Two Congress members told Bondi she should turn and apologize to Epstein's victims there in the hearing room.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Bondi said she's sorry for what any Epstein victim went through, encouraging anyone with information about abuse to contact the FBI. Someone claiming to have information about the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping, sending an email to TMZ earlier today, demanding 1 Bitcoin. No word of any verification. A delivery driver was detained last night and later released after the FBI put out surveillance footage of a masked man at Guthrie's front door the morning she was believed to have been taken 11 days ago. America is listening to Fox News.
Enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you could pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-220-6409 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-220-6409. That's 800-220-6409. What do you have to lose? Call 800-220-6409. Again, 800-220-6409.
This is Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Mood comes to talk.
I'm telling you, I love coffee, and I was just sipping some. You know, I never was a cigarette smoker, but I've been around long enough that guys used to smoke cigarettes in the studio. And guys who were on the air loved their coffee and loved their cigarettes. And it always stunk in the studio.
I was going to say, can't do your breath any favors.
Or the overall air in the studio just was stale. It just didn't smell good. So I never had that. But I do love having a cup of coffee with me while I'm doing my show. And if I had to stop doing that, that would be problematic.
Right. You need like a coffee patch or something.
I would need something. It's kind of a habit, you know. You get certain habits that make you feel comfortable. I'm nowhere in my world am I more comfortable than I am behind a microphone like this.
Yeah, it's like devices that kind of get you in the right headspace to do what you do,
I guess. Be that as it may, welcome into hour 2 of Focus. On your way to making each and every day count, because you know each day is a gift. We all need reminders from time to time, and we know that nobody knows how much QTR we have, quality time remaining, so make the most of it. If you're not living the life you always thought you would live, it's never too late to start living that life. And thanks again for choosing to be an important part of the best and brightest audience in all of radio. The team appreciates it. It's why we do what we do. The team, the team, the team. Mike Parsons, our executive producer. Danielle Mason, the queen of the switches. Rich Luzinski, keeping track of WJR traffic and weather first. And countless other people behind the scenes, who I always thank on Fridays, because if I tried to thank them at every show, that would be the whole show. But there's a lot of people making all of this happen. We're so thrilled that all the wires have been connected. We're now not only streaming here on WJR, on the podcast available at WJR.com as well, and of course the free WJR app, but we are now on our WJR Facebook and YouTube pages doing the video. Then we welcome the people who can join us there. It's not going to affect the quality of the show or the fact that we're playing the show directly to our listeners who are not watching, but it's a little extra something. A little extra added value for no additional charge. We offer you the show that you can watch behind the scenes.
You can't escape us. We're where you are, so you might as well just listen.
We're ubiquitous. All right, Mike Bouchard's going to come up, explain the whole camera situation in the story that's got all of our attentions, Nancy Guthrie, and how the camera images came around. He had a big case some time ago. He can tell us exactly how this all worked out and why. Let me go to some of the stories you sent me. Yeah, I wondered this too. I've seen it promoted. I've not seen any stories, but Mike, you probably have. Why are the Olympic medals breaking? Has anyone come up with that?
No, but I guess it's happening all over the place.
It says the list of athletes is growing longer.
So Breezy Johnson, which is a great name for an Olympian, by the way.
Yeah, really.
She was the first one. She won gold for the Americans in downhill skiing. She said, "Don't jump in them. I was jumping in excitement and it broke." So, It looks like they're two pieces welded together, like two half circles. Maybe there's something with the welding or the fastener, but yeah, it looks like they're just breaking in two, like a wishbone or something.
The growing number of mishaps points to a larger question. Why are so many metals suddenly breaking? One report from The Guardian says the cords on the metals are fitted with a breakaway mechanism designed to release if it gets pulled by any force. This is because they put them out for bid and they took the cheapest bid.
Right.
And they're getting what they paid for. Everybody in every business everywhere in the world is going for the cheapest bid and fewest employees, and don't get me started.
Also, I wouldn't say that the ribbon coming off the ribbon is it breaking. Like when I think of breaking, I think of the metal breaking in half.
Breaking, and that's what's happening.
I'm wondering
go ahead.
No, I was going to say I wonder if it's completely solid gold or if it's gold coated with something cheaper in the middle.
Yeah. I believe they're now all Hershey's chocolate. I'm not positive.
Right.
But anyway, Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum raising funds for West Bloomfield Township move, set to open in April.
You ever been?
I don't think so. I do not believe so.
Well, so I grew up on the east side, so I never heard of this place until I started working in Southfield. But yeah, it's just like this kitschy arcade with a whole bunch of old video games and like those things from like the carnival. You put like a quarter in, and then it's like this diorama that these dioramas that like move around and stuff. It's a lot of fun, and they got kicked out of their old location because the developers were knocking it down and building something up. So I know it's a West Side institution, so hopefully
longtime Farmington Hills fixture, Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum, and now they're going to go to West Bloomfield Township.
We'll go when it's open. You get a kick out of it.
All right, I will look forward to that. Next story, Democrat governors boycott White House dinner after President Trump snubbed two of their leaders. Which Democrat? I don't care about that. Okay. Democrat governors from across the country say they will boycott a White House dinner and meeting with President Donald Trump after he excluded two of their colleagues from a historically bipartisan annual gathering. Their move comes after Maryland Governor Wes Moore and Colorado Governor Jared Polis were disinvited from a White House dinner with the National Governors Association, a nonpartisan group made up of all 50 state leaders get together in Washington, February 19th to the 21st. President Trump this year is also welcoming only Republicans to a separate White House meeting that has historically included all governors. Can't we all just get along?
Also, I'm sure President Trump doesn't care that the Democrats are boycotting it. He probably don't want to invite him in the first place.
More food for him. Now, let's see here. Matthew Maroon met with a top official before Trump threatened new bridge. I don't know what they're trying to imply there, but I don't buy it. And besides, it was Matthew that met with the president, according to later reports. Kid Rock says he wasn't lip syncing at the Turning Point halftime show. What say you?
I mean, it looked like he was lip syncing.
Well, it looked like every time the mic was down, we still heard his lyrics.
I mean, the other thing is it could have been a backing track that he was singing along to. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
He says he had a press conference. Why is there a press conference about whether somebody was lip syncing at the Super Bowl other party?
Right.
But what they ought to do is print the lyrics to the real Super Bowl party, and all those people who never heard of Bad Bunny but love him because the president doesn't love him would be appalled that they're cheering on some of the lyrics that this guy was singing. Anyway, we're here to address fake news media and all the trolls that are piling on, trying to say that I was lip syncing on Turning Point USA halftime at Bawadaba.
Bawadaba.
Oh, halftime to the song.
Bawadaba. Which doesn't sound like it's in English either, if I'm being honest.
I don't even know what language that is anyway. Halftime ratings. We know that more people watched Bad Bunny Rabbit.
Right. Did you hear about that Olympian, by the way, who won a bronze and then in his acceptance speech?
Yeah, I completely ignored the story because it's sad when a guy loses it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you brought it up, I mean, he announced he was unfaithful to the love of his life. I'm going, what the hell is going on here? I'm very sorry to hear this. If he thinks he's maybe he's teaching people to be true to their loves so they don't, next time they win an Olympic medal, they don't have to embarrass themselves and their country. Anyway, excited about Justin Verlander.
Yes.
We said that yesterday when we first, I think it was yesterday when we first heard about it, but apparently he put something out on social media.
Yeah, what's cool is you can tell he's excited to come back because, he posted on his Instagram just a bunch of highlights from when he was a Tiger to an Eminem song saying, let's go. So I think it's a great way for him to come back and say, I'm glad to be back in Detroit.
It's a great way to end his career. Can we get Matthew Stafford to come back and end his career in Detroit? I'm just kidding, mostly. But Matthew certainly has done well, hasn't he? Have you noticed how many people leave us and then go off and win Super Bowls? All right, you're on the phone, obviously. So coming up, Mike Bouchard is going to join us. And we always love speaking with the Oakland County Sheriff. He's got some very pertinent information on the news of the day. Stay with us on WJR.
America, does anybody really believe that Washington, especially Congress, is going to reduce the debt? They're not. In fact, nobody even talks about it anymore. That has a massive impact on the value of the dollar and the currency. And it's only a matter of time, in my humble opinion, that this is going to implode. If your retirement is mostly stocks and bonds, you may be taking a risk, more risk than you think. Now, look, diversification, that's what real experts talk about. It's a hedge against instability. Have you noticed precious metals, silver and gold, are having a spectacular bull run? Doesn't it make sense to get in it before the rocket takes off? My friends at Monetary Gold have been around since 2000, and they have the experience over more than a quarter of a century to help tailor your portfolio to your needs. If you call now and say Mark sent you, they will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD, 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-951-6541. 800-951-6541. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? 800-951-6541. 800-951-6541 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Femininio Law. Wintry roads and icy parking lots can flip your day in a second. If you're in a crash or if you suffer a slip and fall, call injury attorney David Femininio. David gets it, and he gets results. Call 855-65-CRASH or go to the website getdavidgetpaid.com. We've got an accident blocking your left lane on I-75 southbound at 8 Mile. That's causing stop-go traffic from 9 Mile. Moving roadwork blocking your right lane on 75 northbound between Springwell Street and Clark Street. Should wrap up by 2:30 this afternoon. I-94 eastbound between I-96 and 8 Mile. We've got some midday construction going on there. That's blocking your left lane. Should be done by 3 p.m. Expect some stop and go on I-94 eastbound between I-96 and I-75. Another moving roadwork project on I-94 westbound at Connor Street. Again, that should be done by 3 p.m. Same goes for that project on the southbound Southfield Freeway between 8 Mile and Pinecrest, blocking your left lane. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Couple of quiet days, actually right into the beginning of the weekend. No precipitation around. That could change by Sunday. So it's kind of easy. A little breeze, 30. Partial sun today. Tonight, mainly overcast, 20. Suburbs, teens. Tomorrow, partial sun, 30. Friday, mostly sunny, 35. We'll stay dry Saturday. Maybe a little rain or snow by Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Wake up with JR Morning. News, traffic, weather, and smart conversation. Chris, Jamie, and Lloyd with the stories that matter to you. 6 to 9 on 760 WJR.
All right, always a pleasure speaking with our next guest because he is an expert in so many different areas. Today, we're going to pick his brain a little bit about the video that has been released on the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard is here, and he's going to give us the very latest. And it occurs to me, Michael, that you went through a case in the past where a doorbell camera played a big role.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell us about that. Remind us about that.
Yeah, well, good to be with you, Paul W. So that particular case that we had the fake utility workers show up at a house, completely masked, fake identification, fake placards on the cars, fake safety vests, things like that, masks, gloves. And there was a camera on the front door. And obviously, when you have a heinous crime, either, this home breaking that we had that was a homicide, or in this case, kidnapping, you have to get as much information as you can, as quickly as you can. And if you are not sure who the people involved are, that's where the public help is invaluable. And so when we had that, I immediately, tasked some of our folks with trying to get any footage from any cameras, obviously not just on the home, but neighbors. You do a canvassing, you check to see if they have cameras, things like that. And what we found is there was an active account on the victim's home, but we could not get access to it. Ring was not helpful at all. And so we had to do our own investigative workaround, and our detectives were super smart about how to do that. They got it, but it cost us a delay of a couple hours, which allowed, unfortunately, one of the suspects to get in the wind. And, had they been more cooperative quicker, we may have caught them within our state. Thankfully, we did catch them both. They've both been convicted and sentenced to life without parole for first-degree murder. But my point is, once we put that image out, even though the person was fully masked, we started getting tips immediately. And so these kinds of cases really are immeasurably helped by the public. And unfortunately, the delay that it took to get that image out, and there could be a number of reasons why that happened, but sadly it did happen. And it's even more important, and time is more important when you have somebody potentially kidnapped and maybe, not viable for many more hours if they're on medication like she is. So all of those things even heighten the reason to get any digital video out to get the public's help.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't make many proclamations or statements about this because we don't know. We just don't know what happened and what's going on. But I think it's safe to say that had this video become available within a day or the same day of this story breaking, I think that historically we're going to look back and say it could have made the difference. I just believe that. You don't have to say if you believe it or not, but that's what I believe.
No,
because
I believe it. I agree with you. And the only impediment, and I'm not sure because I don't have the actual investigative files, is, this apparently, the digital images or digital pieces, if you will, came from a source that I'm not aware of where they actually got it. I don't think anybody in the public is aware. Did it come from the actual device itself, which was recovered? Did it come from a server inside the home, or did it come from the cloud and Google, and they had to go back and repiece and search digital particles almost and recreate it? How did they ultimately get their hands on it, and what kind of process took that? But that's where the FBI really shines. If I had been that sheriff, I would have immediately said, like I did when Oxford happened, the FBI said, what do you need? And I very specifically said, you could help us with this and that. And so if it turns out at any point he stiff-armed them, that's going to be very, very sad.
Say that again. You're saying if the local sheriff pushed away help from the FBI, that's going to be horrible. Yeah, that's going to be horrible.
Horrible. Yeah. If initially they offered, because they have digital capabilities. I have a computer crimes unit and forensic examiners and all that, but the FBI, bar none, best in the world. If you've got a case that's going to pivot on digital, like had I thought that we couldn't get access within an hour or so of that doorbell and the fake utility workers, and they had the opportunity or the ability, I would have called them immediately and said, hey, I need your help. There should never be egos on cases that involve victims, period. And
but we have gone through,
to find out.
We have gone through some pretty horrible things where the police wanted Apple, for example, to open up a criminal's phone and give us information, and they wouldn't do it. I mean, we're in a very awkward time in our society where the rules of law haven't caught up with the technology. That's a different story. First of all,
and that's an important story. You're spot on.
It's an important story. First of all, I want to make something very clear, and I don't have any dog in the race, although if I were buying stock right now, I'd buy stock in Ring and Nest and any of those places, because people are going to look at their own homes and say, we need one of those cameras, and we need to pay for the subscription. But anyway, this was Nest, Google. In this case, you tried with Ring, and they weren't working. It wasn't helpful. Do you think, though, that, or maybe you've already answered this, the difference between a local county sheriff approaching one of these companies and the difference of having the FBI approach one of the companies, that might have made the difference?
100%. Yeah, that's why I said it. Had we not figured out a workaround that was going to be timely, I would have immediately said, hey, we need your help. You've got a bigger reach. You've got a nationwide reach. The problem is when you've got a local agency and you've got an out-of-state company, Google headquarters or wherever their servers are, wherever you're going to serve them a subpoena, it can sometimes take weeks or months before they get responsive. And that's if they're responsive, depending on what your subpoena is. And that's with a court order, mind you. And so that really has to be addressed. You're spot on. It's a big story that needs to be addressed. Congress needs to fix that. You know, we can take your hair, we can take your DNA, we can take your fingerprints with a lawful court order, but we can't get access to your phone because, you know, phone companies, Apple and other technology companies won't abide by it. They say they're intentionally building their devices so that even they can't get into them. Well, the only people that serves are the criminals.
Well put, as always, Oakland County Sheriff Extraordinaire Mike Bouchard. Michael, God bless you, my friend.
All right. You have a great day, Paul W. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you and all you've done for years for all of us. We continue in focus. Paul W. here on WJR. We certainly know the Michigan winter can be hard on the roof of our home. And Victor, the owner of Victor's Home Solutions, says to be on the lookout for signs of roofing problems. What are those signs? Well, brown stains on the ceiling is one sign. Icicles hanging from your gutter, believe it or not. Uneven snowmelt on your roof is significant as well. All of these are said to be obvious signs of winter roof problems. If you see any of them, you need to call a licensed roofing contractor immediately. The problem is, as you may have found, a lot of roofers in the area shut down in the winter, not Victor's Home Solutions. They're open 52 weeks a year, no matter the weather. They can be at your home within 24 hours and do a 21-point roof inspection, go over their findings with you, and recommend a course of action. They can repair or replace your roof in just about any weather conditions. If it is time for a new roof, Victor's offers an industry-best 50-year leak-free guarantee. That means if anything goes wrong, they're going to fix it for free. They did our roof now a number of years ago. I was a paying customer. They did a roof replacement. They were so good at that when we built another building, they put a new roof on that, and they were spectacular, world-class customer service, world-class workmanship. More 5-star reviews on Google than any other roofer in Michigan. Make sure your roof is ready for the rest of this winter. Schedule your free 21-point roof inspection today. That's easy. All you do is call them at 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS. Free 21-point inspection. 866-VICTORS. Now, you can make an appointment online, and that's simple too. Make your appointment online simply at victors.com. Victors.com. 131 at 760 WJR.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you could pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-220-6409 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-220-6409. That's 800-220-6409. What do you have to lose? Call 800-220-6409. Again, 800-220-6409.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by a adaptive health.
Dan Bongino returns.
It's real. You better produce something fast.
And he's not holding back.
Dan, that's backwards. No, I'm telling you the truth.
Hard truths and a bold perspective no one else can offer.
You may not hear this anywhere else. I'm always under the assumption that you're being played, we're being played. Man, this show continues to expand its footprint, and I love you guys for it.
It's the comeback everyone's been waiting for.
If there was ever a time, it is this one.
The Dan Bongino Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Focus, noon to 2 p.m. with Paul W. Smith.
I truly have heart for Detroit. I've been on the air in Detroit for all of our ups and downs.
Paul is smart, fast, and always ahead of the curve.
And I love that we never stay down. Ever.
Focus, noon till 2 on 760 WJR. Thanks for listening to WJR and Focus. Here's Paul W. Smith.
We have been here for the ups and downs, and we are so thrilled that we never stay down. Here we are, WJR Focus, and you can certainly watch us now, too, on the WJR Facebook and YouTube pages. That doesn't affect our broadcast, only that you can get a sneak behind the curtain and see how things go, and actually finally get to see Mike Parsons and Danielle Mason and Rich Luzinski from time to time, the team. Always you can stream us from anywhere in the country or the world. If you can't be here noon to 2 like we are Monday through Friday, please go to the podcast at your convenience at WJR.com and listen to the show. It's very quick and easy to do. And I sure hope that you have the free WJR app. And along with Relentless Positive Radio, we have some of the best radio shows in the country. One of them's on at 6 o'clock at night, and it stars this man co-hosting with Lomas Brown Jr., the legend. It's, of course, Sports Wrap with Lomas Brown Jr. and Anthony Bellino, weeknights at 6, right here on WJR. Anthony, welcome back to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And I know you're in the middle of working at the Family's Grocery Store, which I highly recommend to anybody that can be anywhere near Danny's Fine Foods in Monroe.
Uncle Paul, it is always a pleasure. You know, one of our avid listeners, Bill, he listens to WJR all day, every day. He came in because I promised that I would sneak a secret stash of Lomas Brown's pistachio ice cream in the freezer, and then I forgot it this morning. He came in, he was looking all around. He said, "Where's Lo Brown's pistachio?" And I looked at him with just utter disappointment. I said, "Bill, I am so sorry. I will have it for you tomorrow."
Bill, I promise you, AB, Anthony Bellino, will make this up to you.
Yes, I will, Bill. Yes, I will. Mm-hmm.
And I'll make it up too. I'll pay for the pistachio ice cream. I'll fax you the money.
Yeah, send it the fax machine. We still have one of those, unfortunately. That's how old this is. Old-fashioned over-the-counter service, Paul W.
Well, in that case, fax me one of your ribeye steaks. They're the best.
I'm telling you, they're prime right now. You should see them. Oh, you should see the marbling on these things right now. Oh, my goodness. I'm drooling just looking at them. You know what? I was watching you on the YouTube yesterday, Paul W. You got quite the tan going on there right now, my friend. Looking good.
I have no tan. I go to Florida, and I don't even sit in the sun.
I don't. Work.
You're looking at my Lebanese skin. That's what it is. I've always had Lebanese skin, although people think I'm Italian, but I'll be whatever you'd like me to be. What I am being thrilled to see Justin Verlander coming back. What is it, since 2017? Has it been that long?
It's been that long. And, you know, a lot of me, Paul W., wanted to know from listeners, right? And it was like, you know, trying to gauge where the fans would be at for this conversation. Is this a excitement for projected performance, or is this an excitement because of a sentimental nostalgia? And really, it's a healthy mix of both. People are excited not only for Justin Verlander and all of the memories and this comeback at his age. He's going to be 43 years old coming up in about 9 days, but then also the way that he finished last year and the ability to bring in a guy like Justin Verlander, not only with his still ability to perform at the highest of high levels, but then also what he can bring to this pitching staff. Not just like a guy like Troy Melton, who we are all expecting, pretty big things going into this season. And then all of a sudden, Chris Ilitch and company and Scott Harris, they said, hey, let's go spend, $100+ million on Framber Valdez. That's a lot of money. And then, okay, that takes a little bit of stress off of some of the youngsters like a Troy Melton and like a Jackson Jobe, who's going to be coming off of injury after the 60-day IL. But then you go get a guy like Justin Verlander, who can sit there and he can not only help these younger pitchers, and even a guy like Tarek Skubal being in his ear nonstop all day, every day, but being in that dugout with some of our young hitters to help these guys throughout the process. I think that the experience and the knowledge transfer that is going to be there on that day-to-day basis is invaluable. And I'm just like every other Tigers fan, ecstatic for what this could possibly, bring to this clubhouse, not just from an on-the-field performance, but also from an off-the-field in the dugout. And then if you're Chris Ilitch and company, new TV rights deal. I mean, you talk about box office booming right now. I mean, people cannot wait to, one, figure out how in the world we're even going to watch this team on television. How are we going to find them? But then also, it becomes every 5 days, people are going to want to get to the ballpark to be able to see Justin Verlander, because this might be the swan song.
Well, it could be. It probably is. I thought it would be. And I am on the sentimental, nostalgic side of that ledger and am thrilled that he is coming back. You just mentioned something, how we can find them. And this is self-serving, but it's the truth. When WJR carried the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Detroit Lions, you always knew where to find them. And you could find them throughout the entire state, and you could hear them on WJR. Now it's a crapshoot. You never know where any of these teams are. I'm glad I got that off my chest. Let me also say this. You just mentioned the pitcher. I'll never remember his name. It doesn't much matter. They hired him for a lot of money. And I told the story because I've been around. I was around. Even though Al Kaline started playing for the Tigers the year I was born, I was lucky enough to know Al and call him friend years later. And remember, it was 1970. The Tigers offered to pay Al Kaline $100,000 a year, and he said, no, I haven't played well enough to get that. He finally accepted it in 1971, the year I graduated from high school, Monroe Catholic Central, God bless them, go Falcons. So he took $100,000 a year in 1971. And the Tigers, you just referred to it, Anthony Bellino, the Tigers have just hired a guy who will make $104,000 a day, 365 days a year. That guy that was a free agent that they hired. Al Kaline, the great one, in my lifetime, was thrilled to make $100,000 a year. This guy's going to make $104,000 a day for 3 years, every day. So things have really changed. So now it brings me to the fact that I'm hearing that Justin is going to get $13 million for a one-year contract back with the Tigers. What did he make last year?
Well, that's a really good question. I actually don't have that number in front of me, but I can tell you this. Out of his $13 million that he's going to make for his one-year contract, he'll make $2 million this year, and then $11 million will be deferred payments starting in 2030. So I think that this is really an interesting strategy as well, because remember, not only Framber Valdez is going to make $38 million per year over the next 3 years, they also have Tarek Skubal, who they lost the arbitration case to. He'll make $32 million this year. They also have Jack Flaherty making more than $15 million. I mean, this is a team that went from the bottom third of the league in payroll to now they are top 10 in the league, and they're going to be spending north of $242 million on this ball club. Now, all of this does play a role in the fact that, yes, one, we don't know what the TV deal is going to be, so we don't have, guaranteed funds, what's going to be coming in from that perspective. But then also on the other side of this, Paul W., is the fact that we don't know come December 1st of 2026 if we will have a baseball season in 2027 based upon the next collective bargaining agreement. So that's
my goodness.
It's going to get messy.
Them. What are they, all elected officials from Washington, not ready to do their job? What the heck? We don't want to go through that again. They don't get paid then, do they?
That is correct. So get ready to lock the doors if they can't come to some sort of agreement.
I don't know what it's like to make $43 million a year, but I think that was Justin Verlander's best year. I'm sure he saved a lot of it, but he made $43 million last year, $15 million, and now this year $13 million with a brilliant move to as you put it, delay like what a retirement plan that is, $11 million of it for 2030. These guys, they're all great. They're all doing well. And now I finally figured out why Chris Ilitch called me the other day. It was to borrow money.
Well,
come on,
money,
Danielle, you understood that joke, Danielle.
That's a lot of ribeyes every day. I can tell you that much, Paul W.
That's a lot of ribeyes. Prime ribeyes, like the ones you'll find right now at Danny's Fine Foods in Monroe, where you'll also find, when he's not on the air, Anthony Bellino. Thank you, AB.
Thanks, Uncle Paul. Appreciate you.
We'll be listening tonight to the best sports show there is, Sports Wrap with Lomas Brown Jr. and Anthony Bellino, tonight at 6 and every weeknight at 6 right here on WJR. We continue. All right, I want to tell you about a special opportunity. And, for the longest time, I didn't take all my vacation time, thought I was doing the station and me a favor. That's ridiculous. We all need to take our vacation time. I see the statistics. I don't have them in front of me. The amount of time left on the table that people don't take their vacation time. And if yours is like mine, once the year comes and goes, they don't carry it over. It's gone forever if you don't use it. I hope you will use it for Paul W. and Kim's dream vacation to Italy, France, Monaco, and Spain. It's coming up in August. It is going to be spectacular, a spectacular European cruise. And Kim and I want you to join us to discover the beauty, history, and charm of the Mediterranean on this unforgettable journey through Spain, France, Monaco, and Italy. We'll begin in vibrant Barcelona before setting sail aboard our luxurious Azamara ship for a 9-night cruise to enchanting seaside villages, historic cities, iconic landmarks. We'll wander through colorful markets, explore ancient harbors, and savor regional cuisine and wines along the way. It's said to be the perfect blend of cultural discovery, coastal scenery, and relaxed luxury. Now, I'm not as familiar with Azamara, but I do like the fact that they go out of their way to spend more time in ports in order to really see and savor the area that you're in. One of the standouts is that focus on longer stays in port, and it allows us as guests to experience destinations more deeply, as I mentioned. And so whether you're looking for cultural explorations, historical landmarks, or scenic beauty, this cruise experience is centered on travel immersion. Now, again, it's August 11th through the 22nd of this year. Mediterranean icons and hidden gems, Italy, France, Monaco, and Spain. Join Paul W. and Kim for this dream vacation. We'll be overnight in Barcelona, a wonderful city in itself, at the NH Grand Hotel. That's a great hotel situated in a perfect location. Then not 5, not 7, but 9 nights cruising in the Mediterranean. All meals included on board, plus the ultimate beverage package covering your drinks. Cruise and Tour was able to work that out. I can't tell you how excited Kim and I are about this trip and all that we'll experience together, because we've made lifelong friends on these trips, and you will too, traveling with like-minded WJR listeners. It does make a difference. Visit WJRTravelClub.com for the complete itinerary and request a free digital brochure from our friends at Cruise and Tour. You call them at 800-383-3131, 800-383-3131, or you can again visit the WJRTravelClub.com, WJRTravelClub.com to book your trip, and make sure you call them too and request the digital brochure. It's beautiful. It explains everything, several pages of beautiful pictures and information. Call them. You'll love the team at Cruise and Tour at 800-383-3131. Call them right now while you're thinking about it. 800-383-3131. We continue in focus on WJR.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2026 Winter Games, sponsored by Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks and use code ROAM and get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Franjo Van Allen has made Olympic skiing history at Cortina, and he was not expected to be the best skier from Switzerland. Marco Odermatt was the bigger favorite, but Van Allen today won the Super G. That's his third gold medal over the first 5 days of the games. He's the third ever to win 3 skiing gold medals, the first since 1968. Vermont native Ryan Cochran-Siegel won the Super G silver, as he did 4 years ago. Odermatt settled for the bronze. The U.S. went 1-2 in the freestyle skiing women's moguls. 20-year-old Elizabeth Lemley won gold. Jalen Koff took the silver. With this Winter Games update, John Stanfield, Westwood One Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of...
President Trump said, "I like Newsmax. You like it too." It's true. Millions of Americans agree with President Trump, and they're switching to Newsmax for the news they can trust. They're watching great shows with Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of big media, start watching Newsmax. It's free to start. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com for immediate access. Get all of President Trump's most important events live. Imagine watching Mike Huckabee's Israel special, our Melania documentary, Clint Eastwood, Charlie Kirk specials, even the movie Jesus of Nazareth by Franco Zeffirelli. Once you start Newsmax Plus, you won't stop. So try it for free. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com, then download the app. It's easy. So make the switch to Newsmax Plus today.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it, with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. This year, don't just get a tax refund, upgrade it. Turn your refund into a bigger return with a brand new roof from Weather Seal Home Improvements. Right now, they'll add an extra $1,000 to your refund toward your new roof. That's a smart deal. Book today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. That's weathersealhomeimprovements.net. Steer clear of a wreck blocking your left shoulder on I-75 southbound at 8 Mile. A slow commute on I-96 westbound between I-696 and Novi Road. Midday roadwork closes your right lane on I-94 westbound at Connor Street. We also have a crew blocking your left lane on the southbound Southfield Freeway between 8 Mile and Pinecrest. And repairs continue along I-94 eastbound between I-96 and 8 Mile. All three of those projects should wrap up by 3 p.m. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
The Arctic air bottled up in Canada for now. 30, partly sunny this afternoon. Still below normal, but not terrible. Tonight, mainly cloudy and should settle down to about 20 degrees. Teens out in the suburbs. Thursday, partial sun, 30. Friday, mostly sunny, 35. Saturday, dry and sunny, 35. maybe some rain, snow Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, it had to kill the New York Times to put this story, which is why they put it out at 8:45. I've never seen it again on my feeds here. But U.S. hiring starts the year at a strong pace. Ooh, that doesn't fit into their narrative of how bad things are with Trump. The unemployment rate fell to 4.3%, and the economy added 130,000 jobs in January, which was higher than anyone was expecting. So don't expect to see that figure out very much, because it doesn't play into what they're basically saying about the economy and the president. Be that as it may, he'll do something to shoot himself in the foot anyway and take the attention away from such good news. Have you been following, Mr. Parsons, the group of Buddhist monks who did a 15-week walk for peace, trekking from Texas to Washington, D.C.?
Not closely, but I know Danielle has. Actually, I heard of it for the first time from Danielle.
Yeah, I
Really?
love them. And I love their dog.
You love their dog?
Yeah, they have a dog that walks with them, and they had got him previously on another walk. And now it's their buddy, and they take him with them.
Oh, so he was a rescue by the monks.
Yes.
And now he walks with them on
Yes.
their walks, their message of
Yes.
peace, which has resonated with people across the U.S., offering a moment of unity amid political divisions. They've had some challenges. They had some accidents. One of their guys had to have a leg amputated.
Oh, my.
That's a lot to go through on a walk.
Yeah, they're really cool.
That would turn me off from walking, to be honest.
I'm big on walking. I say do as I say, not as I do. Kim walks at least once a day, if not twice. And we all would live longer if we all went for a walk immediately after dinner. And I'm not talking about miles. I'm talking about a 10-minute walk right after dinner. Don't wait until you do the dishes or put them in the dishwasher or whatever you do. Right as soon as you're done, go for a walk for 10 minutes. You can do the dishes when you get back. You will add years to your life. And I haven't said anything lately, but carry around aspirin in your pocket. Just plain old real aspirin, not Advil, not Tylenol, but real aspirin. And if you feel like you're having a heart attack, chew some of those aspirin and call 911. Get to the hospital as quickly as possible. I'm telling you, I've had people tell me that doctors told them in the ER that their lives were saved because they chewed that aspirin when they felt a heart attack coming on. Just as a note, I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV anymore. But I did love Minds of Medicine for Henry Ford Health many years ago. Do you remember that show at all, Mike Parsons? You're too young, probably.
No, I vaguely remember it. However, I do have a Minds of Medicine jacket hanging up in my closet at home. I think I got it from here for free when I needed a jacket on a remote.
What? I never even knew there were Minds of Medicine jackets.
I'm going to try to dig it out, and I'll bring it to you next time.
Do you drink beer?
Not really. It gives me the heartburn.
I'm not a big beer drinker, but I know that Heineken's always been one of the premier beers. I mean, it just has been, at least in my day and age. They're cutting between 5,000 and 6,000 jobs globally over the next 2 years as part of a new productivity drive.
Uh-oh.
Heineken revised its profit growth expectations for 2026 to between 2% and 6%, lower than the 4 to 8%. The brewer aims to deliver higher growth with fewer resources under a new strategy that spans. Everybody's getting hurt by this stuff and the drive for more profit. It's just the way it is. Now, if you want to be profitable, you'll be sure to stay tuned. After All Talk with Kevin Dietz and Focus with me, Paul W. Smith, if you stay tuned to JR Afternoon and Ryan Armani, I promise you wealth and riches.
Oh, checks in the mail, Paul, with that kind of introduction.
Well, I don't mean real money, wealth and riches. I mean wealth and riches in
knowledge,
enlightenment, knowledge
Yes.
and enlightenment.
You're the best.
Gotta run. Stand by for news and Ryan Armani. See you tomorrow. Regards, Paul W. Smith.